growing up in a broken home, my dad kind of not being around too often, I felt like I kind of had to redefine what I thought it meant to be a man. Growing up as the youngest of three boys as well, I watched my two older brothers really follow in my dad's footsteps, incredible athletes. I didn't have too much success in sports. I found success and expression through dance. And I think that the lane that I've found that has allowed me to have an impact on our community is showing the strength of vulnerability as a man, showing the strength of expression, which I think is a big thing that men deal with, and that's where I've found my most strength is just finding the courage to share my authentic truth. I'm not trying to be nobody else. I'm not trying to be more manly than I think I really am. I'm just trying to be me. All of my power that I can carry in this world is through me tapping into me, and I want to be that for my children, my future children. I'm honored to be up here with these incredible men who have families and strong women by their side, and I strive to be, just like you guys, very inspired by these men I'm sitting here with.
Oh, yeah. Clap it up. Oh, go. I got to follow all y'all. Man, I'm bringing the chubby over here. It's okay. It's all right. I'm going to get my workout in soon enough. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'm catching up. But as far as the man in my life that you're asking about was like similar to what you're saying. The man was gone. He was missing. So my mom was 13, pregnant. I went to 8th grade twice. First time I went with her to alternative school. Second time I was an 8th grader. So men was missing. So the idea of masculinity and how to form that, when you say, who taught you to be a man? I'm like, I'm still trying to learn. I'm still in this game as a student, so I'm trying to figure it out. And like what Tosh was saying is accurate. I got most of my masculinity from my grandma. So my grandma was the one who raised me up to figure how to be the man she wanted me to be. That might not be the way you would think. So when Tosh said that, I was like, oh, dang, that's exactly like I got mine from the void. And then men that did come around, they were untrustworthy. They were maybe harmful. And so I grew up not really relating well to men. I could get along better with women simply because that's who I was around and felt more comfortable with. And men could potentially be dangerous in my history as growing up. So I was always a little guarded with men. And but I was thankful that my grandma was the one to be able to tell me what she wanted out of a man. And then I felt like that helped. It wasn't until high school that I get in one of these relationships, and then I get the fear of loss, and that's when the toxicity comes out. And I was like, oh, well, if I lose this girl, see, the programming of possession and the programming of objectifying, and now unlocked all this scarcity, and all those toxicities come out. Like, oh, now I don't want to be one of those men that grandma didn't want me to be to begin with. So short answer is my grandma's the one who helped me learn how to be a man, and I'm still learning.
Thank you. Let's stay with this. Let's tease this out. And I was sharing earlier, we have a script, but spirits will take this where it needs to go. So, what I really find profound is all three of you were talking about how you were learning from the women in your life, right? Some of us had fathers or father figures and some of us didn't. But ultimately, this issue of gender is an issue of power and control. But also, Adrienne Marie Brown says that we're living in someone's imagination. Like somebody thought it was okay for men to dominate the land, the people, the sky, everything else. Said it enough times where it became policy and it became truth. From your guys' experiences, I guess we can go the same way. In this time, gender, like race, is a construct, right? We're talking about energy, and we both encompass all these energies. When we think about redefining masculinity and manhood, how do you take that, what is, what should be, into like how you're trying to be a better person that shows up as a man?
I always, with any sort of endeavor, I think in contemporary times, coming from Indigenous lens, Indigenous standpoint, I always take into account the historic practice, Indigenous ways of knowing and being. There's that. There's also my lived experience as well. And there's also sometimes I take into account what I like science and data. So I look at that as well. And I feel like navigating this world, we learn to find out, what is working for me here, what reassessing situations and how we carry ourselves in community. So for me, my basis, my foundation is always what is the himodug of the autumn charge. What is the way of life of men, and how is he supposed to carry himself in etiquette and community? And since things are shifting in this day and age, how does he adapt and navigate? I'm always kind of going back and forth with myself, because where I come from, it's male-led. It really is male-led, but once again, I also say that it's a slippery slope with getting in certain sort of trying to carry out some original practices, because now it's conflated oftentimes with the toxicity of other types of patriarchy. So we have to almost reassess. We have to reassess about not what did they do back then, but what am I going to do now? How am I going to act now? How am I going to respond to the world now, knowing what I know with the changing of society, with the changing of traditional gender norms? And really, I think that it also comes into, from my lived experience, like what you said that it's energies, human beings. We are energetic beings. We are a lot more malleable and adaptable than the social constructs allow us to think. We are very adaptable, malleable, and so that's the beauty of us as human beings, is our nervous system changes and adapts. And when you peel away our heart, when you peel away our mind here, and you peel away all these things, and you look at us as human beings, we are conscious entities. We are spirit consciousness, and we are connected to so much more. This is just a human experience we are having here, but this human experience is also very malleable. So I think that how I navigate that is, first and foremost, yes, it's looking at the traditional roles in which what's expected of me in etiquette and how I act in community. And if there's some ways where these cultural ways no longer work because of the grief and the trauma and the infiltration of Western patriarchy, then I shift, I pivot, and I use my own discretion. But again, using your discretion, I believe, requires a spiritual, physical, intellectual, emotional wellness, and being able to discern and consult with everyone, all parties in the group. I think that's how I have always kind of gone about these things in my community.